morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture, just to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, microphone check 1 2. What is this? I feel like a DJ with this mic. I hope you can hear it. I hope it sounds pretty good. Trying to get on my game, y'all. Trying to get on my game. But that's not why we are here. We are here for episode 4 of Reasonable Doubt. Do I have the name? I look like I would have put it on the screen, but sometimes. But y'all love me. Y'all know I don't be as clear as I think I am. Huh. Episode 4 entitled Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Guilty until proven innocent. So, a couple of things that we're going to do. I just saw when I watched it this morning that I technically can watch this show on Hulu at 11 p.m. on Monday night. So, you all will be getting it early Tuesday morning, no later than the afternoon. Since now that I know that I can watch it at 11 p.m., I can go ahead and do my notes, and then I can give them to you instead of watching it Tuesday morning as I've been watching. All right. You all know the drill here. Please hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. No, smash the like button, and then click the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I do more videos. I usually do 1 video a week. However, since we have 2 shows that I am reviewing, I am doing two videos a week. So make sure that you are aware. Reasonable Doubt will usually go up on Tuesdays, and Atlanta will usually go up Friday morning. They usually go up on Friday morning. So Tuesdays and Fridays right now are how I'm working out the video. All right, let's get into it. Now, the way we do it here, we talk about the overall plot, and then we get to the side plots, the subplots. And then we do, at the end of the show, we're going to do Jax. Who shot you, boo? Who shot you? Anyway. So let's get into the overall plot. So basically what's happening is this. Baby, they are doing jury selection for the trial of Mr. Braden Miller, because he is going to trial. Now, remember last episode, we had a little incidents where Braden waited to the last minute to tell his wife about anything, that he was that he had an affair on her. He even waited till the last minute to tell her about the severity of what was going on. And so we talked about that last time. So this time around, you see the wife is still pissed. And she has every right to be pissed because, hey, her man lied to her. Let's see if we can find that slide real quick. So this is Jax and talking to Braden and his wife. And you see she is still mad, child. She is not really feeling it. She's talking about the fact that, anyway, Jax wants to be a united front. She wants them to be a united front. She wants them to go about their business the way they're going about their business. What happened in this incident is that Braden's co-owner has decided that he wants Braden to step down because of the fact that there are incidents and things going on. They're losing customers, they're losing sponsors, they're losing money. Jax is like, you're innocent, so you need to act innocent. You don't need to be walking around acting like you're guilty of something. Now, remember the last episode we saw that Braden's co-worker Theo, he doesn't really like Jax to be in charge. He doesn't want her to be in charge of anything. He's made that known to Rich, and Rich is kind of buying into that because Rich he feels like, oh, I need to be in charge and be in control. However, criminal law is not his forte. So he's going to have to leave that up to Jax. And so instead of Rich working with Jax and just talking about the business side and the contracts and stuff like that, letting her know that he's doing things like behind her back. So basically, uh, uh, this meeting that they had, Theo and Rich put it together. And then I don't know what made Braden call Jax. And then when he called Jax, Jax comes over there. And Jax is feeling, as she should, that they're trying to undermine her case, or they're trying to work a sub case, a subplot case. You know how we have our subplots here, but they're trying to work this trial. And she feels like they're slowly trying to sabotage her. And she's like, hey, we got to keep a united front. We got to do these different things. We're going into jury selection. But again, Theo is having an issue. Now, one of the things that, I talked about, Theo is suspect to me. And one of the things or the patterns that I'm starting to see is the way that he is undermining Jax makes me think that's the same thing that he did with Kaleesha, that he undermined her in and out of the company. And maybe she found out some things and that Braden wasn't choosing to listen to. Because he's working back, anyway, he gets on my nerves, and I guess maybe that's why I'm spending so much time talking about him. He just really gets on my nerves. I just think there's something suspect about him. Do I think that he could possibly have killed Kaleesha? Yes. And I think he probably could have done it because of the fact that he has issues with women. That's how I'm going to put it. He has issues with women, and particularly women who are in authority situations. So we go into jury selection. That went around. It went okay. You see Jax here with the DA. They're going through cutting people out. I did think it was a cute little thing about how they were selecting juries and the process that they used to select juries, and how that was such a collaborative effort in the defense office, that all these different people were talking about all these different aspects or qualities or characteristics that they wanted in the jurors, regardless of. I liked it because they were talking regardless of personal feelings about certain things. So they may have wanted a very conservative person on there. They may have wanted a racist on there. They may have not wanted this. They may have wanted that. They were going around polling to see how he polled in the community. He may not have polled very well with people in the hood, but he polled very well with conservative Black men and conservative Black white men. He didn't poll well with Black women, but he polled well with white women. He polled well with some other thing, but I just thought that was a whole, and that was an interesting process. So I was glad to see that particular process. Listen. So they select the jury. They have their little things about selecting juries. And one of the things that Jax said that she felt like Braden need is that he needed to go back to his community so that they can see him and that they can support him and they can issue out. You know how, like with OJ, you remember how OJ left the community, but then when his butt was on trial for murder, all of a sudden, OJ, all of these things about OJ being this, they coupled it as, see, he's a Black man being persecuted. So they tried to make Braden. Braden does a speech at her friend's, at Jax's friend's rally. He makes a good and passionate speech. Now, while we're there, honey, let me get to the slide. Oh, that's a subplot. This thing right here. We are at that little speech. He makes that little speech. And who comes up to Braden's wife? But Kaleesha's husband. Now, what did he come up there for? I couldn't understand. I guess he called himself, was going to confront her as the spouse or whatever. But baby, he comes up to her and he says, well, I wanted to talk to you about the emails that you sent my wife. I'm like, Soldier Boy. Emails? Emails? What emails did she send Kaleesha? We need to know about these emails. But baby, the thing that took me about this whole scene is that she told him, I don't know what you're talking about. And you need to shut up talking to me before you be like your wife. I said, I don't know if you can read that. Did she do it? Did she do it? Did she do it? Because baby, and then she walked off and smiled like she had just not dropped a damn grenade in the middle of that thing. He looked shook. He was looking so shook. I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. She's not how Braden described her. So she keeps her pulse on everything. So that makes me think that she already knew about the affair. All right, we're going to keep on. So that's basically the big plot. That was basically the bomb that I had. I was like, okay. Let's get to these subplots real quick. One of the subplots that we're going to get to is the fact that old Blue Eyes still working at the garage with his brother. We find out that that's his brother. Still working over the garage with his brother. His brother is still doing these side deals. He explains to his brother, that he don't want to get involved with that. He don't want to go to jail. The brother is like, look, this is a huge thing. This is how we keep afloat. If you don't want it, you could come and you can watch it. If it's something that you don't want to be a part of, you can walk away. If it's something that you're down with, you be down with. And he gave him a good amount of money. How much money we couldn't really see, but he gave him a good amount of money, and old Blue Eyes is thinking about it. Now, I told y'all, Damon seems very calculating. He has a master plan, and he does not want that master plan to be uprooted. And so I'm really trying to figure out or see if he's pulling any cracks about what his master plan is. Now, initially, I thought that it was about him getting back at Jax because Jax didn't work as hard as she could have on his case. And I still think that is, but he's using this approach like they're going to be friends. I think I think his plan, his calculated plan is to get in good with Jax, act like he is a good friend, and then blow her marriage up and blow her life up. But what's happening is that her marriage is already blown up. He's coming in trying to do something that has already happened. Now, I will tell you all this, because this is just something to mention, nothing to spend a whole lot of time on. But you remember Will? You remember Will, who Jax had sex with while her husband was watching on the cameras? Honey, he pulls up on Jax, wanting to know what's up. He's been calling her and texting her. And so she basically had to tell him, because she's jogging at night, she had to basically tell him, look, we had fun, but that's all it was. And he told her, basically, it ain't over. I still want you. And you're being unreasonable about it. Now, that's scary. And that puts him somewhere on my list of Jax who shot you, but not yet. Because I want to see if he comes back and does something else stalkerish. Because and the reason why I say that I'm not going to jump to the biggest conclusion on that is because I'm waiting for him to do something different. Because that shouldn't be, we need to find a little bit more information out about Will. I am curious as to what he went to jail for. Because you remember at the first show, he said he went to jail and then he got this job to kind of balance things out. And Jax hadn't even thought about. No one has ever asked, because he works for a company. Nobody has ever asked, what did he do? Did he stalk his girlfriend? Was there domestic violence? Because he rolled up on Jax so smooth. But of course, she had her earphones on. She couldn't hear, which is a no-no. Ladies, if you're jogging or doing anything at night, your senses, all your senses need to be active. And you don't need to have something distracting you. And if you're jogging at night, I do understand that there's music and there's about pacing. If you need that kind of thing, you need to jog in the daytime. Because at night, you don't know who's rolling up on you. And she did not see that. She did not even feel that car roll up on her that night. But that's just Pam pontificating. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with these subplots. We also have the subplot of Jax's father has texted her and he wants to come over and or to have dinner or have lunch with her. Her mother calls her and contacts her to say, hey, have you been in contact with your father? And she says, yeah, he wants to have lunch and I'm on the fence about doing that. And mom is basically throwing the undertones, don't go meet him. You know, he is who he is. He is a disappointment. Da 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 da. Don't go see him. Don't go see him. Now my cackles are up with Jax's mom because I'm trying to figure out what the stepfather did. Because you notice the stepfather is in a wheelchair. I'm trying to figure out what the stepfather did to Jax. So we go back through, and Jax decides that she is going to meet with her father. The mother meets Jax there, and she's like, "Oh, he didn't show up, did he?" And she was like, "No." And Jax was upset. You know, she was talking like, "What did I do? Why doesn't he want to?" And she was like, "Oh, well, you know, um, that's just how he is. You know, I called him and told him to leave you alone." And then Jax kind of stopped. And my eyes went like this because it's like, why in the world are you calling him to get in between what they're doing? That doesn't make any sense. They're grown now. And it seems like there is something going on with Jax's mom that she doesn't want Jax to know. And that made me think about, and here I'm going back to pontificate. A lot of times when two people are in a relationship and they don't work out and then they have a child, sometimes we can get into the situations where one, the father leaves and he just doesn't come back. And he doesn't come back until, like I call it, he then becomes the coast is clear father. And that's that father that once you become grown, he feels like he no longer has to owe mother anything or he has to deal with mom. It's the coast is clear. He can come over there and he can talk to you and have a relationship, try to have a relationship with you. And then when he has that relationship with you, he builds himself up as the victim, that your mom did all of this and she wouldn't let me see you. And I always say to that, if you love your child, if your child is important to you, there's nobody in the world, not a mom, not anybody, that's going to keep you from dealing with your children. A lot of men don't want to deal with the courts because the court system is an unfair system. However, that shouldn't stop you from doing what you need to do, because I always say, even if you lose, there's always record to show that you tried. Always. So I don't know exactly what's going on with him, but Jax took it to the point, and I took it that mom was sabotaging the relationship. She was doing something to sabotage the relationship. And you remember, mom doesn't feel like she's doing that. There might be something that mom knows about Jax's father that she wants to try to protect Jax from, but at this point, it's not her place. Jax is grown, and Jax has the right to confront or face whatever it is, her father, without the mother getting in between. Okay, so we got that. I think I talked about Damon and Jax going out to eat. Hoocha, they going out to eat. Taking they went out to eat, and child, you know, Damon been in jail a long time because he was trying to use he was trying to use his bank card to pay for no, he was using his debit card. He was trying to use his debit card to pay for the food. And I think it was his bank card, because they would have taken that debit card. I have not seen anybody, because your debit card is like a credit card. So it must have been like, you know how you get the little card for your bank card, because at one point in time you were able to use that card to, like, at the grocery store, at places that you ate. But that didn't last very long, because that didn't last long because of the fact that your card number was your bank account number. And if you gave them that stuff, they can get into your account. So that didn't last long. So that's how long he's been in jail. Good Lord. I think that thing fizzled out. I think it was grand opening and grand closing for that little feature. What, early 2000s, 2003, 2004, 2005, somewhere in there. Anyway, they have lunch. He couldn't pay, so Jax paid, and so he was like, "Well, I'm going to pay you back." So and then he says, "Well, if you give me your address, I can mail it to you." She gives him her address. You're supposed to give him the office address so that he could give it to the office. She gives this, and he did it to see if she was going to do it, and she fell right into it. She fell right into it. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I'm going to see if I'm missing any other subplot. No. Only that Jax had to apologize to her friend. You remember the one, Chanel? Jax didn't realize that Chanel and her husband are actually separated, and she's living with her cousin. So, and you remember how Jax is always, remember last episode, Jax made a dig at her for some reason or another. And she told Jax, I didn't appreciate that. Jax apologized. They apologized to each other. So everything seems to be smooth and cool with them. Sorry about that, y'all. That's my alarm. Let me get back to me. All right. So what did y'all think about the episode? I didn't go over every piece of the episode. I do encourage you to watch it. It is a good show. This episode wasn't as exciting as the other episodes, but it was informative, particularly for these two. Let me get to this way. Particularly for these two. Because, see, they've got information that we did not have. Also, Jax and her PI have gotten a lead on Kaleesha's laptop. So, they're going to be privy to the emails pretty soon. All right. So, as we do always here, let's add this to the stream. Jax, who shot you, boo? Who shot you? Who are our suspects? Now, this, like I said, this whole thing is for who shot Jax. Remember, when the show started, we are actually 6 months behind. Who shot Jax? And we also put on here, could that person also have killed Kaleesha? We don't know. So after episode 1, I thought it would be Fallon and Kaleesha's husband. Episode 2, I thought my suspect was Theo James, who was Braylon's partner. After episode 3, I even thought it was CJ Cook, child. I thought it was Damon's cousin. But he would not have had an instance or a reason to kill Kaleesha. But I did think that maybe because of the relationship between Jax and Damon, might be able to cover up. I'm saying it's a drug business. I don't know exactly what's going on there. Whatever it is, it might be a chop shop. It might be something. But he may have shot Jax to cover that up. And now in this episode, baby, I think it's old Sarah Miller. Because Sarah Miller has emails out here that are making her seem a little guilty. And Kaleesha's husband talked to her about those emails. So I'm interested. What's in those emails? We're probably going to find out next episode or the episode after that, because the PI is going to get Kaleesha's laptop. Who do I look at as, we're talking about Jax, who shot you, but as far as who killed Kaleesha, my money is either on Theo or Sarah. That's where my money is. Either Theo killed her because she challenged his authority, or if Braden would have left his wife for Kaleesha, Kaleesha would have wanted to be a partner in the business, and he didn't want that. I also think that Sarah probably killed Kaleesha because Kaleesha was messing up her marriage. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. Let's go, God. Tell me what you think. Who do you think? Who do you think killed Kaleesha? Who do you think shot Jax? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this show. We are 10 minutes behind, but I wanted to get as much information out as I could just to let you know what I was thinking about this show. I am really enjoying this show. It gives me first season of Scandal, and I enjoyed first season of Scandal. So let me know how you all are feeling on this show. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I do any other episodes. And as always, people, bye-bye.